I will say, even for the person who did not come out as a winner, in the city of Keego Harbor, he is still a winner for so many people in the community because he has been such a great contributor to the city of Keego Harbor and has been a member of the Zoning Board of Appeals. He's also a big volunteer. Joining us right now on the Oakland County MegaCast is David Emerling. We want to say, I'm sorry you didn't win, but I want to say thank you so much for running. What has this been experience been like for you?
It was a true learning experience. It's the first time I've ever run for a political office. Over my childhood, both my mom and my dad won different offices in Ohio where I grew up. But I never the two things you've noted of volunteering in Keego on the zoning board, and I'm also on the TIFA board, are both appointed. So they're not necessarily you have to go out and campaign. Um, it's a process. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of money. You really have to work hard to try to get those votes.
And with this, David Emmerling with us on the Oakland County MegaCast, you're an engineer by trade. So, with your background, how has this been for you to go through this process? What did you learn and what would you do differently, or what will you do differently the next term? Do you plan on running again?
It took a lot out of me this election.
Too soon to think about that, huh?
Yeah, well, no, I actually thought about it. I think that my goal right now is possibly, first of all, continuing with my two boards that I'm currently holding. Those are very worthwhile things to keep Keego going in the right direction. The Planning Commission is something that I've always wanted to be on, and I'll keep watching of openings on the Planning Commission, which again are appointments and not election. When it comes to the election, it will depend. If it's the right time and the right place. I liked hearing our last guest running unopposed. That has a lot of appeal, and I think that if there's a spot that's open and nobody's volunteering, I might raise my hand. But right now, right now I'm basically looking at it. I got a lot more time on my hands, so it all worked out. We got good people that got elected. I don't think anything could go wrong in Keego with the people that Rob Coleman has been fantastic in the city. Current mayor and has been on city council for 12 years. And Ashley is new to the city, and she brings some grant writing, and she's an attorney. So I think we're in good hands, and I'm looking forward to seeing where the city goes.
And with that, Keego Harbor, while it is a small community, it's also in that heart of the Orchard Lake corridor that is so ripe for redevelopment. As someone who is a volunteer and invested in the city, what do you hope to see happens in that area?
That's what really was the excitement of running for city council, is because of your quote being ripe. It's more than ripe. It's ready to burst. The fact of the matter is that when Oakland County came in and straightened up Cass Lake Road and put the sidewalks and the turning lane in, that exactly why the TIFA board was created, for the bond that pays that off. All that land was bought by Keego Harbor for $1 that's vacant on either side of the road, but we have a 10-year clause of not being able to develop it past road usage. We're about 2 years into that. We as the TIFA board, just hired Gibbs Gibbs Associates to do a second study for how Keego Harbor could be developed. Right now, the first study that he completed uh, basically told us what types of retail and housing it could be supported in our area, but it didn't really give us the template of what it would look like. We as a TIFA board just approved a second phase of that study to actually map out exactly what that would look like for Keego in the future. And it's about a 6-month study with a lot of focus groups, and the end result would be an aerial view of of what types of businesses would lay out, where the parking would be, what types of looks we would have. And what city council has ahead of them is not to just include the Tifa district, which is just Cass Lake Road, but to include what leads into Keego Harbor, which is the Orchard Lake Corridor 2. And that needs to be included, so it all goes together.
And just so people really understand, when you're looking at a city council position in the city of Keego Harbor, you're not getting rich. You're not. This isn't a payoff or a payday for you. For you, it really is out of your civic duty. Knowing that, what do you want other people to know about lessons that you've learned during your time as running as a candidate about getting involved in their communities? If they're thinking about running for an elected position, do you wish you wouldn't have done it and just stayed on some of the appointed boards, or do you think it was worth your time?
The way a city runs, especially Keego Harbor being only a half a square mile and 3,000 people, it's run by volunteers. And as you mentioned, you don't get rich. I don't quote me on this, but I think you get $100 to be on city council. So you're doing it for the passion of the city. Keego Harbor, and I think I overheard you say that you live in Keego Harbor, is just a wonderful, walkable community. What I learned campaigning, being out meeting the people, is that everybody loves Keego Harbor. A lot of people have been there a lot of their life or all their life. Their first words out of their mouth is it's quiet. They love how quiet it is. And second words are usually safe, and they just love the walkability of it. But we can't run the city by just having our paid employees, which is really a small city hall staff, very small actually. So the garden club, which I'm on, the Parks and Rec, all the boards are all volunteer. And what I would strongly suggest is people to just find their niche, get involved. That's what I did immediately when I moved here. And my wife started Art Sale, which is an art co-op group to promote local artists in the area. It's just it's an open canvas, as they say, of just doing whatever you feel that you want to give back to the community you live in.
Well, we want to say thank you for your time and your contribution to the city of Keego. And thank you again for being with us here this morning on the Oakland County MegaCast.